Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. We are going to continue with our history of tea. So let's get started. In my mug today is a Masala Chai, and it's very lovely, but I think I was a little light on the spice. I think the next time I will add more spice. This time I used a powdered spice mix made by Spicewalla. It's very tasty. It's heavier on the cardamom and a little bit less cinnamon. It's really good, but I think I like a stronger spice flavor, and this cup isn't quite doing it for me. So next time I will add more. The instructions on the can are a little imprecise. It's just add until you like the taste, and I added what I thought was enough and I was way off. So next time will be a little bit better cup. So it's still a delicious cup of masala chai in my mug. We are going to take a quick aside in our exploration of the history of tea in China to talk about Tibet. There was a trade route between China and Tibet that still exists today called the Tea and Horse Caravan Road. Traders traveled between Tibet and the Yunnan and Sichuan regions of China, taking tea from China and trading it for sturdy Tibetan ponies. Tea was very important to the Tibetan people, who ate very few vegetables as they were restricted by geography. When tea became available, they boiled it in water, then mixed it with yak milk and butter to create a drink that provided desperately needed calories while adding slight vegetable material to their animal-based diet. According to the Tibetan book Historic Collection of the Han and Tibet, Han Zan Shi Ji, there is evidence that Tibetans were drinking tea at least as early as the Tubo regime, which is the same period as the Tang Dynasty. While China was under Mongol rule, that's the early 1200s through about 1368, tea lost popularity and was considered just another beverage. The Ming Dynasty, 1368 through 1644, saw new and innovative ways to process the leaves, and tea regained its popularity. Instead of being baked into cakes and ground into powder, the leaves were plucked, withered, rolled, dried, and oxidized. The result was loose, dried leaves that produced a full-bodied and smooth-tasting drink. This is the way tea is processed and brewed today, with some variation among different teas. According to the Cha Shu, a Ming Dynasty tea manual, times for drinking tea: in idle moments, when bored with poetry, thoughts confused, beating time to songs, when music stops, living in seclusion, enjoying scholarly pastimes, conversing late at night, studying on a sunny day, in the bridal chamber, detaining favored guests, playing host to scholars or pretty girls, visiting friends returned from far away, in perfect weather, when skies are overcast, watching boats glide past on the canal, midst trees and bamboos, when flowers bud and birds chatter, on hot days by a lotus pond, burning incense in the courtyard, after tipsy guests have left, when the youngsters have gone out, on visits to secluded temples, when viewing springs and scenic rocks. That sounds to me like every time is a good time for tea. With this new method for processing and brewing tea, tea required new tools, utensils, and vessels for every step. In many ways, pouring hot or boiling water over loose leaves necessitated simpler tools over the elaborate utensils in the Tang and Song dynasties. In general, the Ming Dynasty saw great advancement in Chinese pottery. White porcelain replaced black glazed porcelain. While simplicity was embraced, beauty was not ignored. Teapots were made with simple lines and few adornments to not distract from the fragrance of tea. The purple clay, found around the city of Yixing, was very popular in teaware. The unglazed pots would absorb some of the color and flavor of the tea brewed in it, so it became necessary to have multiple small pots and brew only one kind of tea in each one so as to not contaminate the flavor. Yixing pots were widely exported and are still popular around the world today. I have found this type of teaware to be rather pricey. I do own a tea set. I have a pot and a few cups made out of Yixing clay. I haven't actually used them yet. I'm holding on to them for my pu'er tea. Because the teapots were so small, the leaves were used over and over again by simply adding more water. The first steep was generally used to rinse the leaves and rinse and warm the pot and cups and was poured out. I know that was very brief for today. Next time, we're going to shift and talk about tea in Japan. Thanks so much for joining me today. I am grateful for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Teapots were made with simple lines and few adornment. For goodness sake, can you say it? I cannot.